my R&B review. This your boy Reg in the building today. Yes, this is a review that I have been in a way longing to do, dreading to do in a weird way, but I'm finally gonna do it. This is a review that I have been. Sorry about that. This is the artist formerly known as Prince with the Emancipation album, the epic 3-disc Emancipation album. Released in 1996, this was released on his own NPG label, which was under EMI. This was released at that time too. Came out with 4 singles, which was Betcha by Golly Wow, The Holy River, Somebody Somebody, and Face Down. All of this was produced by Prince and shit. So yeah, man, all this produced by Prince. Y'all should know. So yeah, this is the 3-disc album that he did, after he went through all the bullshit he went through with the Warner Brothers, during like the slave era and whatnot. So with this review, I'm kind of going to do things a little differently than I'm used to doing with most reviews. For one, this album is split up with 3 discs. So with each disc, I'm going to dedicate a Sunday out of this month to review it and whatnot, because I'm not trying to sit through this whole album one day. Pretty much not trying to sit through this whole album one day and stuff. And 2, since I'm definitely going to be reviewing the album and shit, since I'm going to be reviewing the album, I'm going to also dedicate maybe a bonus episode probably about the songs that I want to pick that I feel like will probably be a best fit for a single disc and shit. So yeah, with that being said, here it is. This is Prince with the Emancipation album, 1996. So yeah, after the whole Chaos and Disorder album was released, 1996 was pretty much a very busy year for Prince. Like I mentioned, he was released from Warner Brothers. He got married to Maite and shit like that. He got married to Maite. They got married like Valentine's Day. And he was trying to do things celebrate his independence and whatnot. And he's trying to do like a lot of experimenting with certain songs and certain styles. And 2, but also, he went through some tragedy too, because they actually suffered, him and Maite actually suffered like a miscarriage, or like the baby died from like a rare skull disease. I think it was called like Pfeiffer syndrome type 2, died shortly after birth and whatnot. And yeah, man, it was kind of like a very turbulent time basically for Prince. Very turbulent time for Prince and shit. So very turbulent time for Prince and shit. So yeah. So with that being said, he spent like a lot of the time in the studio too. So that explains why the album is, of course, 3 discs and shit. Because like he always wanted to do like a multi-disc album. And so he it was quite evident because Sign of the Times came out with 2 discs, but he originally wanted to do the whole Crystal Ball, which was like a 3-disc album and shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So it was kind of like him celebrating his independence. Also, another thing too that kind of caught my attention with this album was the fact that this album is actually like the first Prince album.
Means so much to me,
This album's actually like the first Prince album where it's like there's cover songs on the album and shit. There's cover songs on the album because he had always wanted to do cover songs on his albums, but Warner Brothers did not let him do it. Warner Brothers did not let him do it and shit, because they wanted him, to profile him as the songwriter and whatnot, which he was singer-songwriter, and very good one too, but that's why he's always like doing like a lot of live covers. Sometimes when he has his tours and shit, most evident, if you guys can track this down, like the 1991, not 1991, excuse me, when he kind of did like this after party. This after party, I think it was like the late 80s. He did this. He did this basically this cover of the Temptations, Just My Imagination and shit like that. He did the cover Just My Imagination and shit. And so yeah, he did a cover of Just My Imagination. And so that was a very good cover. Y'all can track that down there. Y'all can track that down and stuff. So yeah. So with that being said, here's the album right here. It just has fucking him kind of like being released from the chains and whatnot, as like being like chained by Warner Brothers and stuff. So yeah, man. And of course, he wasn't going by Prince and shit like that. He had that infamous symbol too. You guys should know. Yeah, and this is definitely what the CD looks like. Of course, it's the booklet right here. As you can see, you got Prince, has the infamous, slave on his fucking cheek and shit. Yeah, you got pictures right here. I think like of his family, I think you got like his parents right here, if I'm not mistaken. Right. As you can see here, got the song credits and shit. Got some lyrics on the whole album insert. I always love this fucking picture of Prince. This definitely, I think, his home/studio and shit. Yeah, you can tell, very dope pictures. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, it also has this picture in the back too. All right. And so, also with this album too, he pretty much kind of split ties with the older like new power generation and shit like that. So in a lot of these songs, he's doing a lot of the instruments together. The only people, the past musicians who worked with him that I know of that's on this album are, of course, Sonny T, Tommy Babrala. Eric Lees makes a few appearances on this album and shit. Yeah, I always like when him and Eric Lees work together and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Rosie Gaines made a few album appearances. Actually, no, she only appeared on the first song and stuff. She only appeared on the first song. Yeah, of course, it has some other musicians too and shit. Scrap D, the rapper that was also on, I think, Chaos and Disorders on this album too. So yeah. So with that being said, like I said before, I'm only going to talk about the first disc. I'm only going to talk about the first disc today, which only has 12 songs. On first disc only has 12 songs and stuff. Actually, all the discs have 12 songs. Let me correct myself there. All right, with that being said, the first song I'm going to talk about is called Jam of the Year. Very, very, very dope song. I love this. Love this track right here. Definitely it has that lounge kind of feel to it. You can definitely feel like the jazz and shit like that, the kind of like the house feel to it. Prince talking about Jam of the Year, you about to go to this party and stuff like that, about to fuck it up and shit. I love the fact that Rosie Gaines definitely made some appearances on this fucking track and shit. Yeah, man, very, 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 very dope track. I love, love, love this song right here. This is probably my favorite song off this album too. And of course, you guys should know he named the tour, the Jam of the Year tour. Yeah, very dope track. Track number two we got is Right Back Here in My Arms. Another kind of like an R&B-ish kind of track in this one. I love like the synthesizers on this track. It's just so ill and so dark and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just has like a very synthesizer just had like a very mean undertone to it, in my opinion, which it very definitely caught me. It definitely caught me off guard and shit. What I got from Right Back in my arms was the fact that he's kind of feeling lonely in a way, and he's talking about his far away lover, a lover far away. He just wants to be back in his lover's arms and stuff. So yeah, and shit. Yeah, that's what I got from that track and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Love the way he was singing this track. But even though like the instrumentation is dark, I never really saw this as like a dark song either. Yeah. Give me one second. I'm sorry, I had to reply to somebody right quick. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to reply important something for tomorrow and shit. But yeah, Right Back Here in My Arms is a very, very dope track. I love that. Then we got is Somebody, which whew, another one, this was a single off the album. Very, very, very good track. Definitely, I love the way he's singing this track. Tonight I wanna be somebody, somebody. Like that shit right there is go hard as fuck. I love that. Um, it's kind of crazy because it kind of like picks up where Right Back Here in My Arms kind of left off, but this one you can definitely feel like the vulnerability of Prince on this track and shit. The video is pretty dope too. The video is pretty dope. It kind of has him performing like in this concert, and he has the fans just saying like how much they love Prince and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, he was definitely rocking that jacket, with the symbol a lot because he rocked it in both that video and the Bet You by Golly Wow video. I know he rocked that in some tour days for that video too and shit. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Somebody. Very dope track. Love that shit. And now we get into Get Your Groove On, which I like the message he tried to convey on this track. How he's trying to talk about, one should definitely be themselves and stuff like that. I like the vibe on that. It's kind of like, a dance party kind of track and shit like that. Kind of like one of his danceable tracks and stuff. So that's what I got from that track. That's what I got from that track right there. Get Your Groove On. Very dope track. Next track we got is Court in Time. When I first heard this, to be honest with everybody, I did not like the song when I first heard it. Until recently we listened to it. And now I just love this track. It definitely has a very 1940s swing to it and shit like that. He's saying some shit like, I'm through with the crazy life, I'm through with the crazy life. I'm definitely going to settle down to someone and shit like that. I'm definitely gonna start settling down and stuff. So that's one thing I thought about Court in Time. One of the many songs he wrote about, his love for Mayete and shit. Love this track and shit. It kind of low key reminds me of Strolling from the Diamonds and Pearls album, musicianship wise and stuff like that. Even though I always felt like Strolling was like the better track out of the two, but yeah. And then we get to the first cover of his album, which is Bet You by Golly Wow, Bet You by Golly Wow, and stuff like that. And that is, you guys should know that is the Stylistics cover and stuff. Love the Stylistics. I reviewed their first album months ago, all the way back in February and stuff. An important milestone when it comes to Philly soul. And so his cover of Bet You by Golly Wow, man. Oh my God. Man, that's probably maybe my second. It's either my second or my first favorite cover off this album and shit. Cause the way he just sung this track, definitely love the way he sung this track, and he just added like a lot more sense, made it more sentimental and shit. Um, but I was kind of watching an interview, and it's kind of funny because even Rick James, he felt like he shouldn't even like certain R&B songs you shouldn't even cover and shit like that. He was talking mad shit about this cover from one interview I saw. But with that being said, I personally love this fucking track. Betcha by golly, wow, man. Definitely is probably next to the original, the best version of this song. And then now we gets up, which we gets up. It kind of has like a vibe of the latter era of Prince and shit like that. It's another okay song. Just talking about how Prince at times can be selfish in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Just him admitting his flaws and shit. That's what I got from that song. Certain lyrics says, "We're the one deserving of the championship. We gets up so you feel the gift. All the competition they got to quit. Yeah, how you think we come and smash them like you want to sting? We just bad, so we so bad we good." Like he just going in on this fucking track and shit. Kind of like a braggadocio and vibe in a way too. Yeah, man, that's what I got from that. Then we get to White Mansion. Love this song right here, man. This is probably my second favorite song off this album. The thing I got about White Mansion, it's just talking about how he first got his record deal and stuff, you know what I'm saying? He's traveling to New York, and he's witnessing the lifestyle of being in the music industry, and he feels like he has to like hide who he really is just to get accepted by them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have lines like be a toy, do what you want, tell me what you want to do. 9 o'clock, see John K. But if you don't rock, come another day. Come another day, spirit so low, reaching up for ground, reaching up for ground. One day I'm gonna make it in this lonely town, basically. Yeah, very dope song. White Mansion, being a metaphor, about reaching the highest high from what I got from that track. Yeah, man, very, very dope track. I love that song, White Mansion. Then we got Damned If I Do. Yeah, that this song Damned If I Do is just one of this song I kind of picked up, was kind of talking about, a lover's quarrel and shit, like a lover's quarrel and shit. Basically what I got from that track. Yeah, it's a pretty cool song. It definitely has that 90s kind of pop rockish feel to it and stuff like that. Um, yeah, very dope track. I love this. Then we have track number 10 with I Can't Make You Love Me. Yeah, this track is a cover version of the Bonnie Waitt song from her 1991 album Luck of the Draw. Guys, give me one quick second because my laptop's about to die. I'm about to get my charger. But while I'm getting my charger, I'm gonna explain what I have to say about that cover. I'm not really like fan when it comes to Bonnie Raitt though. I never really gotten deep into her music. I think I heard the original version of the song like a couple of years ago, basically a couple years ago, and yeah, man. That's one thing I have to say about that. It was pretty cool, but Prince kind of took it like a more different. He kind of took like a more different approach, made it a bit more, made it a bit more soulful and whatnot. So yeah, man, that's basically what I gotta say about that shit. And I Can't Make You Love Me, man. That's a very raw track. The way his vocals on that shit, very raw as hell and shit. Um, then we get to Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy, Mr. Happy. This song features Scrap D and stuff. Yeah, pretty solid song. I'm not gonna front. Pretty solid song. Another kind of like a hip hop, one of the hip hop influence tracks on this album and stuff like that. Mind you, the hip hop on this track, it's actually not that bad though. Compared to some of the past works with the Tony D experimentation and shit like that. Um, yeah, man, just another kind of like a braggadocio kind of track. Prince and Scrap D did their thing. Love the usage of that Ice Cube sample as well too. And this last track, In This Bed I Scream, yeah, very personal track and stuff like that. Um, According to like the liner notes and from what I looked up about this song, this was actually kind of like an apology that is dedicated to like Wendy and Lisa and Susanna Melvoin and shit, who you guys should know were members of the Revolution. Susanna at one point being Prince's steady girlfriend at one point and shit like that, and also being a member from the family too. Yeah, very, 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 very personal track, man. Shit like that. Love the line when he says some stuff like, um, "Tell me how we're gonna get this. We're gonna put this back together. How we're gonna think with the same mind, knowing all along that life is so much better. Living and loving together all the time. Living and loving in this bed. In this bed. In this bed. I scream." Like, man, like that shit's go hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Love the guitar breakdown on that track too. Um, and it kind of crazy too because when I looked up about this song, he while he was doing the work in the studio, I think the guitar feedback loop kind of happened by accident. You know how Prince is. You know how he likes certain sounds and he just wanted to loop that shit. So yeah, very dope song. In This Bed I Scream. Excuse me. Very dope song right there. And yeah, that's all of the songs off this album. Well, excuse me, off the first disc. Um, very, very, very dope first disc. One thing I got from this first disc is the fact that he basically wanted to. He was just basically talking about the past, like trying to do right by his past and shit like that. Especially with songs like In This Bed I Scream, and he was just getting in comfort with the present, with his love for Maite and shit. With the first disc, I kind of call like the first disc the more R&B-ish influence off this album and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna definitely explain what I mean by that because the next Sunday when I review the second disc, I'll definitely explain what I mean and shit. Yeah, man, very, very, very dope CD. I mean, very dope. Yeah, very dope CD and stuff. Yeah, what can I say about the first disc and stuff? And I'm just gonna reveal it right now. The first disc is the strongest disc out of this collection. That's all I'm gonna say too. So yeah, that this is artist formerly known as Prince with the Emancipation, basically with disc one. Yeah, man, and I think they re-released Emancipation too and stuff like that. So if y'all can find it, must have in your collection. And yeah, I'm gonna end it off so I can just gonna handle some shit for the night. And thank y'all so much for watching this. Peace to everybody on the chat. Peace.